My name is Juan Ulloa, and today we're going to be talking about your web presence name. This is part of a pragmatic guide for small businesses to help you get your web presence up and going. Your website address is the primary name of your business online and should be the root of your entire web presence. Let me break this down a little bit for you. So let's imagine that I have a company named Juan Corporation or Juan Corp. And my web address might be juancorp.com or https://www.juancorp.com. Now, if I break this down, the domain name would be juancorp.com. Usually that's what you're purchasing when you're buying a domain name, juancorp.com, .net, .org, .io, whatever. But you're buying that portion. That's your domain name. The rest is broken down into other titles. Everything after that slash and before your domain name would be called a subdomain. In this case, www. It's a subdomain. You don't purchase that. You can just choose to use it if you want to. And then that HTTPS or HTTP that you see, it's the protocol. That's how the web browser is accessing your website. That's how it's communicating with a server that's hosting your site. I know it's a little technical, but that's okay. We can go a little bit deeper in the naming convention of a website address. In this particular example here, we might be looking at an about page of your website. About is the path for that particular page. Now, ideally, your domain will match the path across your entire social media, right? So your website might be www.juancorp.com. If you have a YouTube channel, you might have it at youtube.com/juancorp. If you have a Twitter page, you might have it on twitter.com/juancorp. Same thing with Instagram and Facebook. This helps your entire name be tidied up across your entire web presence. When you consider your domain name, you want to pay attention to your actual business name. If you don't have a business name yet, you have a good opportunity now because you can start thinking about it in context not just of your physical presence, but also your web presence when you're thinking about that name. So ideally, your business name should actually match your web presence as well, right? You also want to keep in mind in trying to make sure that your business name and your domain name are easy to type and remember. And you might find out that your preferred domain name might be taken. So you might have to be creative in terms of what you call your domain name. You might want to think about search engine optimization. So how easy is it for somebody to use the correct keywords to find your business? If your business, let's say, is a taqueria or like you sell tacos or whatever, you might want to throw that into your business name, and you might want to throw that inside your domain name just to make sure that that keyword is in your name. You may choose not to. That's okay too. Plenty of businesses do just fine without putting those keywords in their actual domain name. And you'll want to make sure that you consider that name across all the platforms, online platforms like Twitter, YouTube, etc., like I mentioned earlier. So, where do you go to buy a domain name? You can buy them at a site like GoDaddy.com, Wix, Squarespace, Weebly. These are all websites where you can go and buy your domain name, and also you can go and build your website. So we're in GoDaddy.com. The first thing I want you to do is to figure out how to search for domain names, because some will be taken, some may not be taken. And you can do this in a lot of different websites. I like to do it in GoDaddy.com. Ironically, I don't always buy my domain names through the GoDaddy.com. I just search for them here. So I'm going to go to search for domain names. And I'll just search for something. Let's see. Let's see if Juan Ulloa is taken, right? Because that's my name. And I'm going to search for it. And look, you'll notice that it's telling me juanulloa.co is taken, but it looks like juanulloa.com is taken. That's because I own it right now. So I'm going to try Juan Corp, because that was the name of the corporation that I'm going to be building. And let's see. it looks again, OneCorp is taken, and onecorp.co is not taken. And I might be able to use onecorp.net or one-corp. So now I have a hard decision to make because somebody already owns onecorp.com. I can choose, that this might create some confusion with folks, but if I'm branding a little bit and if my search engine optimization works okay, it may not be that big of a deal. So you'll have to make this decision. Should you go with that code, that add a dash on it, or maybe you might want to be more specific in your web address and add some keywords. So let's say I actually build websites and that's what my corporation is. Maybe it makes sense not to just be not use corp. I mean, what's the meaningfulness there? So maybe I'll call it like One Web Design. I don't know. And I'll search for that. Let's just see what's going on there. Check it out. My web design, my domain name is available, so I could go ahead and purchase it. Normally it costs about $15 a year. It's really not that much money that you'd be paying for. A lot of websites will give you some incentives so you can start buying them there cheaper, but you'll save $14 over the course of your entire business expenditures. It really doesn't matter. Cool. Now you've decided what domain name you're going to get. Don't buy it quite yet. You just know that it exists. I want you to build your website, and I want you to build it on the platform that you're going to be hosting your site. That way your life will be way easier. And that's it. Hopefully during this video you learned a little bit about how your web presence has a name, and you have your domain name for your website, and you want to make sure that that name matches across your different aspects of your web presence across your social media and so forth. In the next video, I'll show you how to get started in building your website, and hopefully this will give you a starting point so you can also search through YouTube to get the answers that you need. Thank you.